Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Character Dive, a show where we analyze characters from various sources of media. Let's go! Alright, Akame Got Killed fans. We're almost finished doing all 7 members of the Jaegers team, so let's conclude this segment with a bang. That also means the Night Raid videos are around the corner. For our final member of the Jaegers, we have Run. Now then, let's start the show. After analyzing Run, I could very well say that he's probably the most interesting member of the Jaegers. He's loyal to Esdeath, and is a close companion to the team. His gentle and quiet persona builds a mysterious exterior. It's quite the contrast between him and the rest of the team. He uses the Imperial arms known as Mastama, or Mastama, however it's pronounced. A pair of wings which shoot sharp feathers at bullet speed. I like this character design. It's very majestic and angelic. It kind of looks like he belongs to another Square Enix property. For real though, he deadass looks like a Final Fantasy character. Anyways, at first I thought Run was just there to add a dynamic to the team, but trust me, there is a lot to this character that you will find interesting. Run is a pretty quiet guy. He only speaks when necessary, but when he does, he delivers very valid information. For example, as I mentioned, he's loyal to Esdeath, and delivers information that he captures while the rest of the team is out fighting. I find this to be somewhat odd because he does have decent combat experience. This is demonstrated when Esdeath challenges him and the rest of the Jaegers to a fight. Although, his strength shines more when gathering information. This is a smart move on his part, considering that we don't need all 7 Jaegers out there on the battlefield. Now check this out, this just came to my mind as I was recording this. I think he and Dr. Stylish would be a good duo. If you got the other 5 members of the Jaegers out fighting, you have Dr. Stylish conducting experiments, Run can kind of act as the messenger between both sides, gathering information, helping Dr. Stylish with experiments, while also assisting the rest of the Jaegers on the battlefield. This would have been a cool dynamic. The more I make these episodes, I realized how much potential this series could have had. Oh well, moving forward. From the point he makes his debut, his occupation outside of the Jaegers was left as a mystery, up until a later point in the series. After discovering that the Imperial Fist has been murdered by Wild Hunt, he reveals to Wave that his goal all along was to change the Empire from the inside. Another cool detail that we discover is that he was a school teacher. A side note that I'd like to add is that this information is revealed differently depending on whether you're watching the anime or reading the manga. In the manga's storyline, this information is revealed during a conversation between him and Wave, where in the anime, it's revealed during a battle between him and Leone. I will say that I'm slightly disappointed with how it was revealed in the anime, as Run just kinda says it rather than us having that slow discovery like in the manga. It's actually a shame how many great moments have been dampened due to the anime's short runtime. But I digress. Now, here's where things get juicy and somewhat grim. So I'm going to give a second warning as things are about to get dark. So heads up, I guess. Anyways, let's talk about this dude for a second. This is Champ, the John Wayne Gacy of Akame Got Killed. That should set the tone where this is going to go. Before the events of the series, Champ massacred an entire class of children on a farm. Something he brags about later on in the story. Run happens to overhear this from him. Soon enough, Run is given the opportunity to get the jump on Champ, in a very clever way. Run tells Champ that he knows a place where there's children. This gets Champ excited, in more ways than one, as Run leads him to a destination. Unfortunately for Champ, there's no kids. As Champ throws a temper tantrum, we see a side to Run that we haven't seen up until this point. In a furious rage, Run tells Champ that the children that were murdered were actually his students. Run then begins to brutally beat the crap out of Champ in a torturous and violent fashion. It's actually quite brutal what he does. You know, now that I think of it, I could see why a lot of scenes were cut from the anime. If they included half the scenes that were in the manga in the anime, they wouldn't be allowed to air it. That shit would be X-rated. Especially because of what happens to these three characters. We'll talk about it in a future episode. While Champ is down for the count, Run completely eviscerates this man. Ain't nothing but bones. That's what you get for hurting Bowles' family. Why is Run considered a villain? This man's a hero. He hasn't done anything bad, at least from what we see in the anime and the manga. He got rid of one of the most vile villains in the entire series. He deserves some level of praise. Unfortunately, our hero is killed, where Kurome is left emotionally shattered over his death. She then uses him as one of his puppets to keep him by her side. Well, damn. Run actually cares about the other members of his team. This is evident through his interactions with Wave, as the two are close friends with each other. He's also a good friend to Kurome, and paid his respects to Bowles after his passing. He even has good chemistry with Esdet, as he delivers valuable information to her, proving his loyalty. One scene I'd like to acknowledge is when he mentions that he enjoyed his time with the Jaegers. I also think it was a nice detail seeing the ghosts of the deceased team members. Makes me miss seeing them when they were alive. In conclusion with all this, Run is a very unique character. I actually learned a lot about him while doing this video. In truth, I still think Takahiro could have done a little more with this character, but what he did do with the character was enough to make Run a valuable cast member of the series. That's it for the Jaegers, as we've covered all 7 of them. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Now, shall we do Night Raid next?